Alright guys, welcome back. We got another video for you guys today. We got a lot of stuff going on with the car, trying to get it to work and everything. Since it's been down, I've been trying to make a bunch of the systems more efficient, and one of those systems that I want to correct is the cooling system. We've ran into blowing the radiator cap off a couple times when the RPMs like spike up real hard and then come down, a bunch of like pressure surge, and I just want to eliminate that, try to make it safer, keep the cooling system contained. It's not necessarily a head gasket issue. I think it's just the surge of the water pump pushing the water wetter through the system. So what we're gonna do today is put an electric water pump on the Prelude. Where's that thing at, Daniel? Over here. So we're going with Davies Craig EWP 150. This is what everyone runs. Should work pretty good. It's going to be tight fit on figuring out where we're going to mount it, but we got a bunch of fittings and stuff to get that figured out. Another thing we need to do is get this factory water pump off. I've got a factory water pump here that I pressed the blades off of, cut this off, put it on a bench grinder, smoothed it all off, so we got it nice, got it all pressed back together. So this should be my water pump delete for the engine. We no longer need a thermostat, so I don't know if you recall in the earlier video we talked about the Track Tough thermostat delete pipe that is on the back of the motor. Well, now we get to install the actual piece to the side of the cylinder head. So this is the delete for the thermostat. So we're going to get rid of this big piece right here. I bought an adapter to 1/8 inch NTP so we can put the coolant pressure sensor in right here. So everything should still line up. The only thing I believe we're probably going to lose my coolant temp gauge, but we have it on my dash, so I don't necessarily need it. Is what it is. I may be able to drill and add it, but I don't think it's worth messing with. So we're gonna get that off. We're gonna try to get the water pump off. I got this upper hose off already. I'm gonna attempt to shorten this a little bit to try to make it a little nicer, and then we're gonna try to put this water pump, I think, in this area. So that's going to be a challenge. We may have to make a bracket. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we got a bunch of fittings and a little bit of hose. We're going to make it work. The way I plan on controlling the water pump, I want to shout out Reed over at KS Tuned Kaizen Speed. Thank you so much, buddy, for getting this relay to me. We're going to use the Kaizen Speed relay. These guys are super trick. You can PWN, pulse width modulate, anything. So this is like a solid state relay. This is voltage in, I believe, voltage out to your accessory, and then you can pulse with it with these inputs. So we're going to use a DPO, a digital pulse output, out of the ECU. The Haltech actually has a configuration for a electric water pump, so I've already built a table that we need to like try out, see how it goes, and we'll go from there. So I gotta get everything wired, I gotta get the coolant dumped out of this thing. Got a lot of work. So after we do that, we'll get that alternator put back on there, and then we can fire her up and see how she acts, see if she likes it. I don't see how this could be negative, so hopefully this is more forward momentum for the car, just to get it even more dialed so we can get out there and get some work done. So hang out with us and we'll see what we can do. Been fighting us. Nothing likes coming loose on this engine, but we got the timing belt off. We're to the water pump. Just pulled the idler pulley off with the KS tuned walk blocker on her. Got you, Reed. Shout out. Don't buy fake parts. Anyways, so we're about to loosen up the water pump, get it off. I'm sure it's gonna make a mess. Get it all cleaned off. Get that water pump put on there. We'll come back at you in a second. Alright guys, we got this sucker off of here finally. Here's the old one. See that impeller blade? Got the new one all cleaned off, ready to go. And get this guy bolted on there. Hopefully it seals up. This top threads on the block weren't very happy, so we'll see what happens there. But is what it is. 4 out of 5 should be good, right? I guess we're gonna find out. All right, we're gonna try to get this all back together so we can actually get the engine set back in and bolt it in to where it's actually gonna live, and then we can work on fabricating stuff, getting everything else off. But this was the main step, the most involved, hopefully most involved, getting this water pump delete on here. Man, this thing not fun to tear into when she's in the car. Everything's on top of everything. It's really not meant to be serviced, which is a foresight on me, I guess, but is what it is. So all right, let me get this put back in, timed up, back together, and we'll hop back at you. Good. Ready? All right guys, we got everything back together over there. Got the thermostat housing off, switching the O-ring to put on here. Putting this O-ring in here. Nice fit. Track Tough did a real nice job with this. Put a little bit of stuff on the inside of here, and we should just be good to slip this on, line everything up. Whoops, and get some bolts in there. I gotta get the oh, okay. Of course that's gonna be a problem. What are we looking at? Well, you can't put anything on right there with that fucking shift linkage in the way. That's fantastic. Side quest number 652. Alright, I love the enthusiasm. Cutting the butter. Seal of approval. Like butter. That'll work, right? Alright guys, I got pretty irritated the other night, so I called it a night and went inside and just stepped away from the car. I was trying to test fit the charge pipe and couldn't get it in there. Nothing to do with the water pump. There was just too much going on in the engine bay. So I decluttered some stuff, ordered some fittings from actually Jegs this time because Summit didn't have it. Strange, weird, didn't like that. Anyways, got rid of the fuel pulse dampener that was here. That is this guy from Radium with big injectors. This is kind of just like a diaphragm dampener in here that absorbs the pulses. I don't think I actually really needed this. I am losing a gauge, but that's fine. I got an electric gauge. The reason I say I don't think I really needed it is because it's more designed for like more rigid lines, and my feed lines to my rail are super soft and can expand and contrast, so those can dampen the pulses just on their own. So got rid of a big chunk here. A lot easier to get the charge pipe in and out. I just test fitted it. And what was on here previously was actually -8, and I stepped it up to what it should be, which is -10 that goes to the regulator. So just a quick random update there. So we're a lot more decluttered in this area. I had to make a new vacuum line for this, so I just whipped that out real quick. Everything's still loosely mounted. I did get this bottom hose made. You can see down here. I don't think we're gonna actually mount this thing. With everything tight, it's not gonna move. I will probably just throw a zip tie around this fan shroud, and yeah, we got plenty of clearance, and just put it around this inlet neck. Zip tie her up, keep her in place, and she should be good. So we'll work on wiring it next. All right, guys, what's up? We got the Kaizen Speed relay here. I'm gonna show you guys how simple and easy this thing is to install real quick. We got all of our wires ran. One of these, this guy, is our high voltage in. This is our high voltage to our load, in this case our water pump. This is going to be our pulse signal that's going to duty cycle from the ECU, and then this is just a ground. So I'm going to show you how simple this is to hook up real quick, so just bear with me. On this side, first terminal pin right here, this is battery voltage in, so high amperage in, high amperage out. This first small pin over on this side, so these guys you just pull back and you push down on this to insert, and when you let off of it, spring loaded comes out. It won't pull out. So this is high frequency, low frequency. And then the one on the far right is the ground. So we got our ground over here. We just got it hooked up right here. So I'm gonna attempt to hook all this up super fast for you guys, so you can just see how easy and simple this thing is. Super tricky little unit. Very thankful to be running this on the car. Thank you, Reed, KS Tuned, Kaizen Speed, all the guys involved. Appreciate it so much. So, all right, let me see if I can't set you all down. Pardon my hands and all my nonsense. All right, so let's go ahead. We got these open, so let's go ahead and figure out which one is the voltage in. That's this guy. So we're gonna insert this into here all the way, push as far as I can. Now I'm gonna push that back. All right, I didn't catch it there. So we'll try that again. Man, that thing's hard to push. Alright, I think that might need, oh, there we go. Alright, just had to push it past the insulation there, and now it's tight. It is not coming out. Alright, so we got that one locked in. Let's get this guy. Whoop, everyone calm down. Everyone calm down. Push that, fully engage it, lock it down. All right, it's locked in there, so we'll lock that in. Alright, and I was instructed to use the high frequency, which is going to be this first terminal. So I'm going to insert here while I push down. Alright, that kind of bottoms out. Give it a little tug test, not going anywhere. Alright, let me strip this ground real quick. Ground is the far right one. So I'm going to push down on it, insert the wire, give it a nice little twisty twist, push down on it, make sure it is fully installed, push it in as far as it can go, release, and the ground is installed. So all of my wires are installed there. Let me see if I can't find real quick. There we go. Sorry, I got a little bit of a mess going on here, guys. I've already self-tapered this just into this carbon board. Nice little fancy little latch. Alright. Yeah, this thing isn't bolted down, so all I gotta do is secure these wires up. But there we go. She is installed. We got that ready to go. All we need to do is bolt this panel back in. Now look how clean. You guys can get the picture once I get all this stuff sorted. How clean of an install this is gonna be. How clean of an install this is gonna be once I get all this sorted. But for now, that's wired. Everything looks correct there. Grounded, ECU'd. Let's walk out here. So I got the water pump secured with a zip tie here. This guy is solid. It's not moving. With this small hose going to it and this hose going right here, she's locked in. So we got the harness right here. Right here, I got a couple of spade connectors in it right here. A little zip tie around them and then through the connector itself so they can't come off. Grounds over here to the battery, and then the voltage goes straight to that Kaizen speed relay. So super excited about that. Everything is tight cooling system wise. So I'm ready to put coolant in this. That's going to be the next step. So here next, probably not tonight because it's getting a little late, but got work and kids tomorrow, so gotta get this charge pipe back in here, these vent lines back on, down pipe on, compressor housing on, get everything ready, start this guy up. We'll bleed the cooling system, test out the new alternator, and go from there. Start retesting, getting this thing to do a burnout. She's getting close, guys. She's getting super close. So thanks for sticking in with me. I know I've been a little inconsistent, Apologize. I'm trying to. I want to get this thing out to the track. I want to drive it. I want to do all the things. But man, life's going on. So, all right, guys, we got this thing way sideways in the air here, trying to get as much air out of the cooling system as I can. She is tilted. So we're trying to angle the radiator as much this way and as much this way to get the air right here. I'm playing around with the duty cycle of this pump. On the relay, I did have to switch from high side to low side to get my percentages correct, because they were backwards in the ECU earlier. So I had to put like 100% here for it to turn off. She's working. We got most all of the air out. I'm just working on trying to get every last little drop out though. It seems like if I put it at 10% duty cycle and get it to come on, it does give me a couple bubbles. So I've been doing that for a while, just working as much air out of the system as possible. I probably should have vacuumed it down and filled it that way, but I didn't have one of those on me. I don't own one, but I know people who do. Regardless, we're getting there. That's the vacuum pump for the brakes. Had to switch to that with the big cams because the engine didn't make enough vacuum and I didn't stop. Anyways, that self-primes itself. Alright guys, we got the car running. We do have a couple of issues that we need to talk about. It is since then down to 13, so I do need to try to adjust the alternator up. So we are 13 something. It was 14 earlier, but now the water pump is running. We're staying around 170 degrees. It's sitting around. So this is inverse. I had to switch it back. So this is 30% instead of 70%. So if I take this and go 100, that means it's off. So the coolant temp should raise. Give it a second. Alright, it raised. Fan kicks on at 170. So now we're into this, so it's at 60%. Coolant circulating. I'm going to set that back to, I think I had it at 70. So we're dropping. Water pump's working, coolant pressure's solid. Alright guys, what's up? So Working on editing this video real quick. I just wanted to jump in here at the end and let you guys know the water pump was leaking from the factory weep hole. So I actually ended up ordering one of the Miser water pump deletes, the blue ones you see on all the cars. Um, so I ended up tearing down the front of the motor again, putting that guy on, and I had another coolant leak on the back side of that thermostat delete. I ended up pulling that back off, shifting the pipe a little forward, loosened it on the back of the block, shifted a little forward, took care of both of that, pressure tested everything, that was good. There was also an issue when the water pump and radiator fan were on at the same time. The alternator wasn't keeping up. It was dragging the voltage down to like 11 something volts. The car was running like trash because the scaling of everything. Anyways, so I ended up switching to a different radiator fan as well. So we put a brushless fan in that's rated for a higher CFM, less amperage like draw off the hit, so it like ramps up to the fan speed. So we switched to that, and then the alternator just wasn't keeping up. So I ended up. I know this is taking a long time to come out, but I ended up spending another couple weeks on, probably 2 or 3 to be honest, on designing another alternator bracket, and I bought a bigger size alternator. So instead of the 75 amp rated alternator, I ended up going with the 90 or 100 amp, something like that. But now that it is on the car, everything is much better, manageable. The cooling system's under control. Everything's good there. So just wanted to let you guys know a little update right at the end here. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And I'm going to try to be putting some more updates out there soon. Please like, comment, share, do all the things, and we will see you next time. See you guys.